Hello, everybody. You
Hello,
should
we
be
made
able to hear us,
it.
hopefully.
Yeah,
You're
I hope you
watching.
can hear us.
All right, you're watching the chat, right, Chloe?
Uh-huh.
Okay. So I am so sorry about the delay, everyone. It's just I don't know why YouTube decided to change all of their settings today on literally the
Yeah,
worst
no,
day they could
we
have.
logged
Yeah.
on in the morning and Cam tried to get the stream key and it was just like not where it usually
Yeah,
is.
they moved everything to make it as difficult as possible. And I don't know why. I genuinely cannot imagine what went through their minds when they decided to make that decision.
Yeah, so there we go. We're here now though.
I'm so sorry for the delay in the stream, everyone, and hopefully it'll work from now on.
Yes, it'll
Is
hopefully
everybody able
get
to
a
hear us?
work
Can
in.
can they hear us, Chloe?
Yes, they can hear us.
They can
There's
hear us.
sound. We
Okay.
are live.
All right. Finally. All right. How's the Gabnificent?
The stream looks good. And
Can you watch the
Magnificent is also here with us.
Yes, Gabnificent is here with us. They are
Yes.
the ones
Hello.
Let him
who.
say
Oh yeah.
hi. Let him say hi.
Hi. I said hi.
All right, Gabnificent is making the table stuck application, which we're really looking forward to using. It's gonna be awesome. Uh, and is somebody watching the panel chat
Mhm.
on the server?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yay. Hello.
awesome.
Fun, fun, fun.
All right, so today we're gonna be teaching everybody who's watching how to play table stuck. So step one,
So,
what we're gonna go through, I guess we should start with character creation, right?
character creation is where we're going with.
All right. So if you're watching this live stream right now, in the description, if you want to follow along with us, because just so you know, during during the actual convention, we have a convention area where you're going to be able to actually play table stuck. So the first step is going to be to go to the click the link in the description of the live stream currently, and then click table stuck character sheet. So right click it and then click make a copy. Or just go into it and go file make a copy. And then you can see the character sheet here.
Well, some people made
Oh, wow. I don't know what that's about. Chloe, are you okay?
Oh, I'm lagging.
You were lagging
The
hard.
robots got her.
Ooh, oh no.
All right.
I should be okay now.
Okay.
No, but there have been some people who have made their own homebrew table sheets.
Yes,
Character sheets.
there's a lot of interesting homebrew table stuck character sheets.
I even use one.
But today we're going to be showing you guys how to use the original one that I made.
Mhm.
Here, I'm gonna make my own copy of it so I can actually edit it while we go along.
So, imagine, if you will, you have a group of friends, have a lovely douche magician, ready to start DMing, you're ready to start playing your session, but you're like, oh crap, I forgot to make a character. You do. This is what do. This here is what do.
All right, so it's struggling to do that. Well, it's trying to do that. Let's start going through the table client player's handbook.
Having the lag.
You are lagging
Oh,
very
yeah.
hard, Chloe.
Oh,
The street gods will not have it. The gods are just not having it.
Okay,
Ooh.
so the first step to playing table stuck. Before we do character creation, the number one step is how do you actually play table stuck? What do you use to play table stuck? What we recommend using, of course, you can literally at a table play table stuck if you'd like, but what we recommend using is actually going on a Discord server. Let me just show off the one that we're using for table stuck here. I'm going to use table 1. So this is, by the way, a server that you guys will be able to join shortly. But for now, we're going to be showing you guys how to play. So, Chloe, you're in the server, right?
Oh, yes, I am.
Awesome.
I might be a little bit robot-y. Go men. Go
Okay,
men.
so step 1. Okay. So here's how the game is basically played. You're a player. I'll say that I'm the player. Actually, Chloe, do you have the rules in the server yet?
I probably do.
Okay, go into Terminal 1A and input literally any kind of command or whatever, just so it's
Terminal
not confusing.
1A. Hello.
Okay, so, your name
Hello.
is Peach in Key.
It's amygdala's affection if we are going Homestuck rule. I typed it in there. It should be showing up.
Today is the day of the panel, and we started 10 minutes late. What do you do?
No, listen. Everybody's commenting on it. Are you sure you're in the right chat?
This is the right
1A?
chat. Yeah, this is Terminal 1A. Yeah. Your name is Peach and Key. Today is the day of the panel. We started 10 minutes late. What do you do? Take any kind of action, like retrieve arms from chest or whatever.
How about I... Is that good? Is that good enough? Is that what I'm supposed to
do? Not quite, but open Spurb.
What am I supposed to do then, babe? Try to explain to me. What are we doing?
All right, so when you start off, first things first, your DM, or douche magician, as it's called for legal reasons, will give you some sort of brief introduction to introduce where you are and what you're doing. The worst thing you can do is say open Spurb, because chances are your character doesn't have Spurb. Chances are your character is going to be alone in a room, wanting, I don't know, to
desperately
fuck
for some
around
chocolate cake,
with
anything.
some fake arms for like 30 minutes. That's the Homestuck tradition.
Okay, so do I do something like,
So your character doesn't actually have the Spurb discs yet, so you'll need to get them first.
typing ASMR.
Stare and wonder at a window, dreaming of what day might bring. Gaze longingly at mailbox. Oh, I fucked that up hard.
Mailbox?
I'm so sorry. Oh my god, is this stream supposed to... Are we not allowed to swear? I forget. I don't know.
Oh, I don't know.
I'll stop.
We'll try
I'm sorry.
our best not to.
But okay, so
is that a little better? How is this better? Am I doing it correctly?
Yes, this is more correct, because this is something your character could do from their actual bedroom. This isn't something that, like, requires you to just, like, move through your bedroom wall somehow to your mailbox, retrieve the game, and go back into your window and load it up, and then play the game in one single fell swoop. So we recommend taking things step by step, because it's more
narrative
fun.
Elements as well.
Yes, it's important to bring in narrative elements and stuff.
I'm having fun. I'm making a story.
So,
and I'm making an OC while I'm at it. Maybe I'm dreaming of what the day might bring because my character's a dreamer. Who might know?
So that's the very basics of how to play. That's the basic mechanics of how Table Stuck is played. Well, no, not the whole. No. All right. Let's say you were gonna you wanted to do something more like less of just something that you can do. Let's say that you were gonna say like jump over a chasm or something, right? So in that situation, in something that would be a difficult task for your player, what you're gonna do is you're gonna roll a d20 or a 20-sided die. I just rolled a 3. I am garbage. So I just fell into the chasm and I died. And rest in peace me. So there's a lot of different things that can affect these d20 rolls. They're basically just to determine the result of any difficult action that your character might take. For example, if you were jumping over the cliff, or jumping over the chasm, not cliff, that's different, but you'd roll a d20. I rolled the same 3 again. I rolled the same number both times. But if, let's say, my character has 70 in their agility stat, that would mean that they get a +2 to a roll that would involve them doing some sort of athletic ability like that. Is there the copy of it? Yes, here we go.
Yes. Perform an acrobatic fudging pirouette over my computer chair to the door. How's that? What would I need to roll there?
All right, you would roll a d20, so I'll roll that for you. That's you roll an 11.
Oh, hell yeah! Yeet! You can use online dice, or you can use real life dice,
An
depending
11
on what you want
plus,
to do.
let's say your agility is 2.
And if you're a DM, you can fudge it a little bit if you want, but if you're a player, that's big cheat.
So basically, that's 13. So you successfully pirouette over the thing. You successfully do
Wait, do I
whatever
not
it
have any
was you were
stats?
doing. Well, not yet. We still haven't made the character sheets. So now that you know how
Oh.
the basics of Table Stuck is played, let's work together on making a character sheet. So what's the character's
Yeah,
name?
because I mean, like, if I have full-on stats that are just 50 across the board, then...
Mm-hmm. Let's listen to
have
the
something
chat.
more
What do you think that the name should be?
Ooh, yeah! What should our character's name be? What shall
I
the name
can't
of
read
this
the
young
chat.
lad be?
Y'all are gonna need
I'm
to
reading
read
the
it for
chat.
me.
We're gonna have to wait, though. There might be a little bit of a lag.
Sorry for the dead silence while we're just waiting for chat.
Oh, no, I mean, it's gonna have to happen. Oh, random vampire said, did you just yeet? I yeeted. Yote. Correction, yote.
All right, so Yote is a 4-letter name, and in Homestuck tradition, that'll
No,
be the first
wait!
name.
Thank you, random vampire.
Now we need a 6-letter name for the
Now
last
we need
name.
to.
You don't actually have to do 4-letter and 6-letter names for your character in Table
You don't
Stuck.
have to.
It's
but
just
it's more
funner.
fun.
Yeah.
Oh, here comes the names. Hold on. I'm looking. How about, mm, ooh, a lot of names are coming in. A lot of names are coming in. You know what I'm thinking? You know what I'm thinking I like?
Mhm.
You know what I'm thinking I like? I'm liking, A. Minus one
Okay.
A.
The best Yote Ah is our character's name. Not not
Sorry
to be
for the
confused with the Star Wars property Yoda. It's Yote Ah.
Yoda!
All right. So now we need to choose our character's class spec, which is a lot. You don't have to choose the
choose
class
class
spec at the
specs.
start.
What should our
if you'd
class
like.
spec be?
Um,
Let's choose a class spec. Like, I am the class spec enjoyer.
let's
I would
go.
say queen,
Let's
but I'm not
go.
that smart.
Bard of Time because we waste time.
No, let's wait for them to choose.
Oh,
Well, we
okay,
can do
yeah.
that. Let's choose the chum handle. I can choose the chum handle from the names.
Mm-hmm.
I think I want the chum handle to be. It doesn't have to be GCat, but it is more fun to do that. I'll choose from the names we got so far, though, to speed it up a little bit. So how about Charlie for the chum handle?
Charlie. All right. Our character's name is Yota, and their username
Yota?
is CC Charlie. All right. So what's the class spec?
I'm waiting. Thief of Space is the first one that we got. Mage of
Okay.
Light.
Mage of Light.
Thief
Pretty
of
good.
Rage. Heir of Heart. Waste of Space. Page of Rage. Waste of Space. Mage of Rage. Thief of Space. Witch of Mind. Page of Heart. I like Thief of Space. A couple people have said Thief of Space. So
All
far.
right. Let's go
Yeah,
Thief of Space. So our character's name is a Thief of Space. Prosper or Durst. I'm just gonna roll for that one.
Yeah, just roll.
Durst. Boon dollars are gonna start at 0. We don't have concrete rules for
Charlie
boon
was
dollars.
said by Dank Memory.
Oh,
we don't
thank you,
start
Dank
with boon
Memory.
dollars.
At least yet.
And Thief of Space was said first by. This is a drum roll. Rice Milk, I think, was the first person to have said it.
Mhm.
But also, Amaya Cat also said it. And there we go.
Chloe,
Yeah,
I don't
there we go.
actually have the Chloe, can you check for me actually get the list of the preset stats quickly? Like that
sure.
we've been using for MMO Stuck.
I deleted. Hold on, let me see. It should be in the DM chat in
Mhm.
the MMO Stuck Hub. Woo-woo.
All right, so here's the different kind of ability scores that we have in this game, or trait ratings as they're called in a non Wizards of the Coast copyrighted way.
Yeah.
We have strength, fortitude, agility, intellect, imagination, and charm, and each one has its own uses in the game. Imagination is probably the most unique of the stats here from other tabletop role-playing games, because imagination deals with alchemy. Anytime you alchemize something together, you're gonna make an imagination check to determine the success of the alchemy itself. So let's say you roll. Wow, I just rolled a 1. Nothing can save you from a 1. That's going to be absolute garbage, regardless of how good of an imagination you have. But if you rolled something like a 12, and you might have a +3 in it, that's a 15. That might be a better roll than, let's say, like if you didn't have the +3 in it. Then it's just a 12, and your alchemy isn't so successful. But if you have successful alchemy, it'll let you make better weapons more quickly.
Quickler. Oh, that would have been a good name.
Quickler. All right. Do you have the stats yet?
I have them. I put them in the chat. We have to choose, everyone.
Okay. What's the highest stat?
Mid-tier, balanced. The highest stat, if you were to choose mid-tier, is 70.
70. All right. So what should we put our character 70 into for a thief of space?
For a thief of space, well, I would say agility is really important.
Agility?
Considering if you're a thief, you're pretty dexterous, might I say.
All right. All right. What's our second highest stat?
I would say imagination, considering space has a lot to do with thought, imagination, wonder, creation, all of those things.
Okay, so what's the second highest stat, though? What's the number?
Our second highest stat is 65.
65, okay. Next one.
Our next one would be 60, and I think it should go in strength, because we are a pretty big punch.
All right. And just so you know, you might notice that these numbers are changing here. That's because we've programmed the sheet itself to automatically calculate your modifiers for everything. Okay, so what's the next number?
The next number should be 60, and I think it should go in... Oh, no, did we already do 60 for strength?
Yeah.
Yeah, oh, then the next one is 50?
So 50, which one will we leave is just 50?
I think we're going to leave the charm at 50.
Charm at 50?
And I think we're going to put the fortitude a little lower, and then the intelligence at the lowest. So the lowest stat would be 35, and the second lowest is 40.
35.
So we got a dumb boy. Yoda is not as wise as he seems.
All right, so as you can see here, all of these modifiers are changed. So these are the numbers that are going to be affected when you make dice rolls. So if we were going to make that agility check, I just rolled a 17, the first good roll of the day, and an agility is +2. So that'll be 19 if you were going to try and jump over the chasm. Or let's say you were trying to pick up a heavy object, you'd get a +1 to the roll. Or let's say I was trying to do my math homework, then I get -2 to the roll.
I would get -5 fudging billion.
All right.
This is a friendly chat. All right, so
the next step is to determine your character's HP. So gel viscosity is, let's say, your character's
a little bit of math.
Max HP, and your vitality is your character's current HP. So the max HP is going to be 100 plus your fortitude modifier times 10. So it'll be plus -10. So just -10. So it'll be 90 is our gel viscosity.
Wow. Oh, that's some top tier math skills.
Yeah.
Be careful, your computer might fly away with your technomancy at how mathematical you are, Cameron.
All right, and just because this is a quick introduction, we don't got to worry too much about the equipment section or the notes. For the notes, maybe just write some interesting stuff about your character. Like, what are their character traits? Let's actually get some from chat.
What is our character's character traits?
What are they like? Here, next, we have the Sylladex page. The Sylladex/Grist Cache. So here's where we keep track of all of our different types of grist. I know this isn't all kinds of grist, obviously. This is just the amount that is still fun. Because when you have too many, it's not very fun. But we are actually working on another character sheet that will include every different kind of grist that we see in Homestuck that at least has a name.
Fire a technological marvel. You got some pretty sick math going on there.
All right. So next we need to pick our Sylladex modi. So what should we have for their modus? Should we have array modus? Array is easy.
Let's just keep it simple. Let's keep it simple.
Array,
I'm good.
array modus, as it works in Homestuck, allows your character to. This is where, by the way, you would put a description for your modus. Right now, we don't have really time to do that because we wasted 10 minutes. But the array modus basically lets you take any item from your inventory at any time, in any order.
Green. Yote is a wrestler. Frog lover. He likes Star Trek.
You start with
Hates
four.
Star Wars.
This is a rule. You start with
Simple
4
and
capture
dumb.
log cards. And wait, what? Star Trek lover, wrestler.
Hates Star Wars.
Fuck. Whoops. I mean, darn. Star Trek lover. Okay, that's all it's letting me put in because Google Sheets is weird. Wrestler. What? Oh no. Whoops. I am so sorry. Well, that's gone forever. All right, so that's the end of the character sheet creation. Oh, I'm joking.
Wait, what?
I lost it, and I don't know where it went. Okay, let me just reopen it there. All right, so he's Yote is just a Star Trek lover because I can't do literally anything else in that box or my computer doesn't like it. This isn't, by the way, because the character sheet is bad. This is just because my computer is bad. For your Strife portfolio, you don't actually start off the game with a chosen Strife specify. You're gonna pick up an item and you can assign it at some point in the game while you're playing. Your character starts off.
You have one Strife card that you can assign.
You have one Strife specifist and one Strife card at the start, but your DM can actually get you more over the course of the game when they choose. So let's say our kind starts off as, what kind should we get? Let's take some suggestions, and while we do that, let's check out the
let's take some
dream.
Strife kind. I'm saying for now, if nobody chooses in time, I say what's it called? Fist kind. Bam bam.
All right. So here in the Dream Self section, so we have either Prospect or Durst. Nothing's different other than the color scheme, just for fun. So you're just gonna hide whatever it is. So our character is a Durst player, so we can just hide that Prospect sheet. And you'll notice that all of the stats are actually already automatically translated over to this page. So you don't actually really got to worry too much about that. So the Dream Self is basically done for you. All you got to worry about is any notes your Dream Self might need and the equipment that they have, because your Dream Self actually has a separate inventory. Yeah, your Dream Self has a separate inventory than your character regular does.
Staff kind, knife kind, fancy Santa kind.
Oh, fancy Santa kind wins it. I know this isn't how it's spelled in Homestuck, but there we go. And you get one Strife card. All right, so now let's give a brief explanation.
Was recommended by our good friend Aiden Burnett.
All right, so a quick brief explanation on how the weapons work in Tablestuck. So you'll notice here we have the weapon name, we have SD and BD, and any effects that they might have. So the Fancy Santa, for a starting weapon, let's say its SD is static damage. This is damage that, as long as you land a hit, will deal damage no matter what. No matter, as long as it hits something, it'll deal that damage. So let's say the static damage is 6. And then the BD,
guaranteed 6.
Let's say it's, the BD is bonus damage. So it could be anything on a roll, depending on what kind of attack you make at any given time. It may or may not include BD. So let's say our BD is going to be, let's say it's just charisma. So it'll be plus whatever your plus is in charisma.
0.
We have 0 charisma? All right. Well, we should not have picked Fancy Santa kind. So regardless of if you hit, it's always going to be, let's actually change that to strength. Okay, so that'll be +1 if you get a good hit. You'll deal 7 damage instead of just the 6. Let's say maybe you do strength times 1d4. You could do different kinds of combinations here just to make it more interesting for weapons. So this, we would roll 1d4 for each like modifier we have in strength. So let's say we had 2 strength instead of just 1. We'd roll 2 1d4 when we land the hit, as long as we get the bonus damage on the hit. All right. So I think everything's going all right so
hold
far.
on. Carl Vladimir has a question.
Yes.
Does range work in this game? I have another character with a long-range sniper rifle. What does that do in the game?
So, just to balance things out, this is a question I get actually pretty often. Just to balance things out, I'm going to include more info on this in the next update of Table Stuck. But imagine... I'm going to say that range doesn't function just because if you think about it, underlings don't have any ranged attacks. So if you have a ranged weapon, that means that you automatically win all of the time. So instead of that, imagine the game as imagine Strife as an actual Homestuck Strife. As Strife and Homestuck, both characters are like a pretty equal distance away from each other, and they're always within range to actually attack each other. No one's like at an unfair distance away or whatever. So when you enter Strife, I'm gonna say that you're within an equivalent distance to the enemy, where everybody in this engaging in Strife is able to take attacks, and the range doesn't affect it. So you can't just move out of range of an enemy and then shoot them and move out of range again and then shoot them like you can in other games.
In later updates, we might add range because I think Cam, you were mentioning talking about that.
I've been considering it, but for now, I'd say just
because we can always have imps like throw rocks or something.
Yeah, I'd say for now, just don't worry too much about it. And then for ranged weapons like guns, instead of having it so there's a bonus from range, I'd say make it so like. I've been considering having a system where it's harder to hit the target, but you deal much more damage. But for now, just call it the same as you would any other given.
So like basically have it be the same as you would if it was a sword attack, but using a gun.
Mm-hmm. So here you can basically see the different tiers of weapon. So when doing alchemy. Let's say that we have information for alchemy rules here. A roll of 1 to 6 when creating a weapon, it will create a weapon of the tier below the original. A roll of 7 to 12 will create a weapon of the same tier as the original, and a roll of 13 to 18 will create an item of the tier above the original, and a roll of 19 plus will result in a weapon of 2 tiers above the original. So let's say this Fancy Santa is tier 1, and they have an average damage of 10. And because it's strength plus 1d4, that balances out to being about 10 average damage. The grist cost for that weapon, if you were to try and mass produce it, would be only 2. But let's say when you do alchemy, you manage to get it up to tier 2. The average damage of the new weapon you've created would go up to 15, and the grist cost would be 24. And this goes up until 20, which is not a very you're not gonna get a tier 20 weapon. This is just if you like dedicate like hours and hours into just farming grists so you can get a max tier weapon, which I haven't seen anybody do yet. But if he did, it would deal 7,680 damage roughly.
Ooh, big blow.
Yeah. So
Chungo damage.
Bam, bam.
Yoda's chronic ketamine addiction.
All right, so what should we do next? Okay, so let's do a quick explanation.
Rave like a man person has a question.
Yes.
What if it was something more direct, like a boomerang?
Interesting. So a boomerang, I'd say, you like remember with your DM can always decide to do interesting things with your weapons that. When you create them. So let's say you alchemize a boomerang that's like has a super sharp blade. So your boomerang would fly around and let's say that you have you can throw the boomerang and it'll come back to you. So I guess that would say that you could deal 2 attacks in 1 turn with the boomerang. But I'd say that to balance it out, make sure that the weapon's damage itself is reduced compared to another weapon of the same tier, just to balance out the getting 2 possible hits. So but I wouldn't say necessarily cut it in half. Maybe make it like I don't know if it was 10, make it so it deals roughly 7 damage, because there might be a chance that they might not land both hits. All right, let's go into actually.
Oh, hold on. And Dave Tuckwell also has a question. Aren't
Yes.
people like paying to play this game?
Nobody is paying to play this game. This game is completely free, unless you're talking about
we do
MMO
have
stuff.
MMO stuff, which people donated to Patreon for to reserve spots.
Okay.
Even though, like, I think like a good more than half of the people didn't pay to reserve spots. That was just for donation.
Yeah, so MMO Stuck is a session that we're currently running of 288 players, one for every class spec and Dream Lunar Sway combination. And about a quarter of the players guaranteed the spots in the game by donating to Patreon, but it wasn't required. Nobody's paying to nobody needs to pay to play Table Stuck in any way, shape, or form. The rest of the players,
Yeah, no, this is totally free.
Yeah,
you could do
this
your
game
own
is
MMO
completely
stuff
free.
if you would like, with no payment required.
the MMO.
Oh, you could join Table Stuck right. You could join MMO Stuck right now for no payment required. We still have a couple spots open if you want.
We're
You
going
can
to
see
be
right in
giving
there.
those spots out now that some players have like their schedules have required them to leave.
Yep. So if you want to help out,
But yeah, no,
Hit us
nobody's paying to play Table Stuck.
we got this shit for free, yo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So, allocating weapons. Let's go through the actual rules of how Strife works. So, on your turn during Strife, as Strife begins, each character will make an agility action check to determine turn order. The character that rolls the highest result goes first, and if multiple characters have the same result, whichever player has a higher agility goes first. If multiple characters have the same agility and both rolls are the same result, then the two re-roll against each other. If any character rolls a true success, a natural 20, they get an ambush turn as well as going first, taking 2 turns in a row. An ambush turn is basically you just get an extra turn before anybody else. Once Strife begins, the player that's the top of the turn order will take their first turn. While in Strife, a character's turn will be spent on on one of 4 Strife actions: assail, accede, abjure, or abscond. What can typically be done by a character during a single turn in each category is listed below. However, a character's class spec may change this. Like, certain characters might have powers that allow them to do more than one thing per turn, let's say.
Friska.
Yeah.
Also, to interject here, Say Marshy has another question
Sure.
about the Syllodexes. Is it optional or mandatory to use in-game or referenced Syllodexes? Can you make your own Syllodexes? Is what I imagine they're asking.
You can 100% make your own Sylladex. We have a list of recommended Sylladex and or Sylladex modi and the rules for them here in the Client Player's Handbook. And those are Stack, the one that isn't Stack, the orange one, I forget what it's called. Q. And Array. Those are the ones that we have listed here, but you can do plenty. And with the new table, the only issue with using different kinds of modi is the fact that it gets a little bit confusing for your DM when it's just pen and paper. However, Gabnificent here has been working on a Table Stuck app that actually will track your inventory for you, so you can do more complex modi like Tree and what are the other ones? I forget. Array. You got Array, right?
Yeah, I got most of the ones that appear in the first part of the comic. So like Tree, Hash Map, Q, Stack, all of those. And
Oh yeah,
you
that's
can
what I meant.
also-
Hash map, not Array.
Yeah.
Array is the easy one.
Yeah. Yeah. You can also
They're doing great, by
make-
the way. They're doing
make-
great.
Yeah. You can also make your own up
Yeah, you can create
to
your
some
own
extent.
modi. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's really, really cool.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to be showing some more of that at the end of the panel, if you want to stick around for that.
Yeah. So
Yes.
let's go into the actual actions that you can take during Strife. You have Aggrieve. Oh, Chloe, you're also watching the Discord chat, right?
Oh, Discord chat. There hasn't been much said in
In the
there,
panel.
from what I can gather.
Panel chat,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. Okay.
Mhm.
All right. So let's go. So when you take an aggrieve means an attack action plus a sub action. Aggrieving describes any attack action taken alongside a sub action. This sub action would typically be to guard, which makes any striking action tech made against you unfavorable until the next turn. Wait, did I skip one? Oh yes, I did skip one. Let's rewind a bit. Let's go to assail, which is just an attack action. So assailing describes any attack action taken with the sole intent of dealing out damage. To assail, a character must first make a striking action check against the character's AV. That is avoidance value. So if we go back to our character's character sheet here, we can see our character's AV here. It is agility plus 10. So our character's AV is 12.
12.
Yeah.
That sounds like a rather Homestucky number. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm making a Homestuck reference. Do you guys know what Homestuck is? It's really cool. You should. Let me tell you. Okay, I'm done.
All right.
Done.
Okay. So you make a striking action check against AV. So depending on the kind of weapon you're using, that can be a strength check or a an agility check. But let's say that for the Fancy Santa kind, it's going to be a strength check. I rolled a 3 plus 1 is 4, so that would almost definitely miss any target.
Big oof.
But let's say I did hit. Let's say I did hit, like, an imp or whatever. Any modifiers added to this check should be listed in the stat block of the item. Yeah. If a player rolls a true success on a striking action check, they will land a critical hit and the attack will deal double damage. If the character succeeds on the striking action check when assailing, the character calculates full damage from their weapon as attack. This is SD plus BD plus any effects given out. So for a character, this would be... We deal the 6 static damage, plus we get to roll the 1d4 bonus damage. But let's say our character was trying to aggrieve instead of assail. That is an attack action plus a sub action. Because you get that bonus sub action, instead of dealing bonus damage, you deal just static damage, but you also get that sub action. So there's a bit of strategy when choosing what kind of attack you want to do. So aggrieving describes any attack action taken alongside a sub-action. This sub-action would typically be to guard, which makes any striking action check made against you unfavorable, which means that they'd have to... Unfavorable means they roll the d20 dice when they're trying to attack you, and they take the lowest roll. So there, I rolled a 19 and a 7. I would have to take the 7 if it's unfavorable. If it's favorable, I would roll twice and then take the highest roll. If the striking action check is already favorable, then guarding just makes it a regular striking action check. Other sub-actions could include catchlogging an artifact, retrieving an artifact, equipping a different weapon, moving a short distance, and making a regular... I'm going to cut out moving a short distance because of the strife stuff. And taking any regular action at the DM's discretion. If this requires a character to make an action check, it is unfavorable. Other sub-actions may be available depending on the character's class spec. A character decides if they want to make their attack or sub-action first. When aggrieving, a character must first make this blah blah blah. You know, it's the same thing basically, but no bonus damage. Abjure now is blocking, dodging, parrying, plus a sub-action. Abjuring describes any blocking, dodging, or parrying action taken alongside a sub-action. Sub-actions could include, same list of sub-actions as before. When abjuring, the character must make a choice to either dodge, parry, or block. Any striking action check made against a dodging character until the next turn becomes a contest against a favorable agility action. So that was a mouthful, but basically what that would mean, let's say that an imp was attacking me. Let's say,
here, I have an example. Example.
Let's say an imp was attacking me.
See, read the chat. I got an example. See, I helped. Hold on. Go on the Discord.
Hey, wait, what? I can't go in the Discord.
Go in the Discord. No, the thing that you were reading.
Okay. Suddenly, an ogre walks into the room and explodes. I dodge beautifully and make sparks fly behind me. Attack you must, I say, as I kill him in one strike of my fancy Santa. Okay.
Is that what I'm supposed to do? Is that how you're supposed to
No, that is not.
Table stuck?
That's not how Table Stuck is played, unfortunately, Chloe.
Oh?
The
Question mark?
The way that
shocked face?
the way that combat would work is that you take the turn system. You don't take turns. You don't describe what happens to the enemy, or else then that what is the DM left to do? They just go, okay. So what you should
how
do,
would it be done?
Just describe what your character does. Don't describe the result of the action you're taking. Rather, you should try and describe the action itself. Just so you know you can
All right.
You can better just... I forgot what I was going to say. I forgot the word. But Yeah, just describe the characters your action attempts to make. Don't go in
Your
with the immediate
character's
context
intention.
that they're gonna be successful on it.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
this is the.
So
wrong
what would
one.
happen?
Okay, so what would actually happen is an ogre walks into the room, or I would say, as the DM, you enter strife with the ogre. Roll turn order.
Oh.
So the ogre rolls
You want me
an
to grab my
18. Oh my god, you are screwed. And just so you know, we also, this is a new thing. This isn't actually in table stuck yet. I just wanted to show it off a little bit. I made this. This is the Underling Almanac, where you can
I
put...
rolled a 4.
This Underling Almanac is for DMs to be able to keep track of what stats your underlings have. So, was it an imp or an ogre? It was an ogre.
It was an
It
ogre.
was an ogre.
I'm gonna
Okay,
die.
so the ogre has -1 agility, so that would be 17. Ogre, 17 for the ogre. What did you roll, Chloe?
I rolled a 4.
And for Yote. So the ogre will get to attack first. Let's just run through.
Oh, yeah.
Let's say that
I have a question saved up for
yes.
later now.
Oh, okay. Well, just ask
I'm
it
gonna
now.
pin all of the messages in the Discord chat and ask them later. If they don't
wait, in the Sakon chat?
Yeah.
Well,
I can pin
we're okay, Chloe. We're not the only ones using this panel room. Don't pin them.
Oh no, I'll unpin them once it's done. Don't worry about
Okay.
it.
All right. As long as you promise. Okay. So let's say that I'm in ogre fashion. The ogre's just gonna straight up assail you. So let's see here. So. All right. So the ogre's gonna try and roll an attack. That's 16 plus strength, so plus 3. That's 19 to your AV. So that's gonna hit. You shouldn't be fighting an ogre yet. I don't know why you chose ogre. That was an awful idea.
I'm not gonna lie, I chose ogre because it was like purposely awful for the bit, and I didn't think you were sticking with an ogre, but okay.
Okay, so the ogre is going to deal 15 damage to you.
I die almost.
So yeah, your character gets dealt 15 damage. So once Yote loads up here, their vitality goes from 90 down to 75. Now it's Yota's turn to attack. I'd recommend taking an abjure action, or perhaps just absconding.
I'm going to abscond.
Yeah.
I'm going to abscond. Since just so there's no lag with the chat, can my character do a quick D&D and just take a quick glance out the window and see what is outside? Is there a tree near my vicinity that I can grab onto, maybe escape through the window?
Yeah, sure. But I'm actually gonna retcon, just for the sake of the example. I'm gonna retcon your decision to abscond, because for the sake of the example, normally I would never do that, but we need to I still want to show off how abjuring and
I got you.
works.
So I'll abjure. I will abjure.
Okay, so you get the
I
choice.
rolled a fucking 9.
You get the
9.
choice to dodge,
Oh.
parry, or block. So, a striking action check made against a dodging character until their next turn becomes a contest against a favorable. It's basically they become contest rolls against agility, strength, or fortitude. So, which one do you choose?
I know it has a very low agility, so I'll do it's the dodge that checks against agility, right?
Yeah, except it's their attack versus your agility, not their agility versus your agility. But you should definitely use agility. That is the only thing you should be using.
And 15.
You roll a 15, and the ogre on their next striking action check rolls a 5. So, you successfully dodge the attack for that turn, and you get to take a sub action with it, which could be capturing an artifact, blah 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 blah. You know what the sub actions are.
Oh no, yeah. So I can I hold on? Can I abscond with my sub action?
You can't not with a sub action, but it is your turn again because the ogre missed.
Okay, so for my sub action, can I see anything in my vicinity to capture log?
Yes. Let's say that there's a cake in your facility, I guess, or
Oh,
fake
I
arms.
capture log the cake,
Okay.
and I attempt to abscond.
So real quick, when you capture log something, let me just show you how that works. You just throw it in here. Just throw it in this list here. Capture log the cake. Now it's there, and you'll never
Hooray.
forget it. I've never forgotten what my players have in their inventory. I swear.
Trolls are already added into. Trolls will be added soon. I think. I'm sorry. I thought you were saying ogre.
Trolls will be added at some point. But for
the
now,
next
I'd
update.
recommend if you want to play as a troll, just like do it.
Yeah, do a homebrew,
There's nothing
just like
really
Jamono
stopping
said.
you from using
Who is in our
trolls.
who's with us?
Yeah, I know a couple people have already started playing troll sessions. There's no real, like, you don't need necessarily extra rules. If you want to come up with ideas for how their powers would work, that'd be really cool. But, like, if you just want to make your character a troll, you can go right ahead. Alright, so now let's say that your character wants to abscond. So, absconding describes any retreating action taken alongside a sub-action. This sub-action would typically be blah, 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 blah. We already read that 4 times. Other sub-actions could include... Okay, no, we already read that. When absconding, roll a favorable agility action check. The result being your abscond challenge. If a character wishes to attempt to stop you from absconding, they must roll an unfavorable striking action check against your abscond challenge. If they are successful, you take damage from their attack and your abscond fails. If they are unsuccessful and no other character attempts to stop you, you abscond from strife successfully. You get no loot from this strife. Alright, so let's say that you were gonna try and abscond. You would roll a you roll a 13 plus...
Oh, hooray.
2, I believe. Yeah, 2. So that's 15 is your whatever it was called that I said. I forget. And then the ogre rolls a 13 plus 3. So the ogre rolls a 16. But actually, you get to roll it twice. So you roll a 13.
Why do I get to roll twice?
Because it's favorable. So you rolled a 13 and then an 11. So that means that you take the 15 anyway because it was favorable. That's the higher one. But the ogre rolled a 16. But since he has unfavorable, he's going to roll again. And he rolls a 3 plus 3. So that's 6. So you successfully abscond, take no damage.
Amazing.
So that's the basics of the different kind of actions you can take. Let's say Chloe somehow managed to kill the ogre that is so much higher level than she is. A character wins a strife when all opponents have been defeated. An opponent is defeated when their vitality drops to 0 or they abscond. So actually, technically the ogre won that fight and would get loot from you because you ran away. But once your opponents are defeated, it's time to revel
3
in your
cake
sweet
crumbs.
loot. Note, if your opponent absconded, you receive no loot from them other than experience point, XP. All opponents drop XP when defeated. Dead and unconscious opponents can be looted of any artifacts they may have. Only underlings drop grist. Killing any other creature only gives you XP, artifacts, and a life full of guilt and regret. Losing strife. A character loses a strife when they are defeated. A character is defeated when their vitality drops to 0 or they abscond. We just read that. I think I just... if a character's vitality drops to 0, they will either be unconscious or dead. See more in death in the next chapter. For the example games that we're going to be hosting, don't worry about dying. Your characters, I'm just going to say, dying isn't possible for your characters, at least for the time being, or at least for these example games that we'll be playing in the Table Stuck X Sakon.
Yote does it again. Yote lives another day, says Pendles.
When a character enters...
sorry.
Oh, no, you...
No, don't be sorry. Talk. Interject. Talk over us.
The ogre had an irrational fear of fancy Santas.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's say, what kind of XP do we get for this?
All right, so let's say that you managed to kill the ogre. You would get, this will change depending on their prototype rating when you prototype your sprite. But the ogre, unprototyped, the grist you receive is 800 build grist, or any type of grist that your DM decides. Just split that up among the different kinds. So let's say you get, I'm going to say you get 300 build grist and 100 shale grist.
Amazing. Awesome.
So I'll just throw that in here. 300 build And 100, or not 200. Whoops. All right, it's 200 now because I messed it up. Wait, was it 800?
I have
Whoops,
a big
I said it
town.
wrong. Let's just double that. So
We
it's
should
2.
we should make custom emojis for the MMO Stuck servers and have them look like Grist.
That is actually very smart. We should definitely do that. I can't
I'm
believe I
so
haven't thought
dumb.
of
I
that.
can't believe I just thought about this literally right now.
Okay. And then on top of that, how much XP you get is right here. EXP yield for the ogre is 50. So I believe that would take you up like a tier from
Awesome.
0. So let's go through leveling up, I guess, now that you have the 50. Where is it?
All right. So, actually, somebody in the Discord chat has a great suggestion.
Sure.
After you level us up.
What's the suggestion? Let's do it while we level up.
All right. No, because it's you'll see what I mean.
Okay. I don't, but okay. Let me just...
You will know what I mean.
Just so you know, in the Client Player's Handbook, there's a very nifty, neat, fun, very useful this thing that will take you to any real point made in the book if you're ever confused about anything. So
yeah, just click.
I forget actually where we had the level up stuff.
Oh my god, Yota is gonna get fan art.
Oh my god, that's beautiful. Here we go, Echoladder. Okay, so your Echoladder, the way the Echoladder works is there's 100 rungs on the Echoladder, but just for simplicity's sake, so you're not leveling up every minute.
How many levels are there?
Says
Ian Radley.
There's 100 rungs, but what we like to do is we like to split that up into 10 tiers. So there's basically 10 level tiers that you yeah. So once a character reaches okay, hold on. The Echoladder is a leveling system of table stuck. When a character attains a specified amount of experience points, XP, they will climb a rung on their Echoladder. Climbing rungs on the Echoladder will reward you a number of bonuses, such as increasing your gel viscosity and, more rarely, allowing you to increase your trait values. There are two methods of climbing the Echoladder in table stuck: climbing by tier or climbing by rung. Climbing by we're gonna go with climbing by rung for now, just because it's a lot less stupid. But experience points. Your XP total does not, this is important, your XP total does not reset when you reach the next rung or tier. You just keep tracking, you just keep adding it on forever. Gel viscosity increase. Every time your character climbs the Echoladder, whether it be a rung or a tier, the gel viscosity will be increased. How much gel viscosity the character receives for each rung or tier they climb is increased every 20 rungs or 2 tiers. The exact amount is also influenced by the fortitude modifiers. Trait value increase. There's a lot of cool stuff that you can get from leveling up. So let's look at the level up thing here. So, looks like you don't quite have enough to reach the next level. You need 135 experience points. But
Let's say we get that, though.
Let's just say that you have that. So the gel viscosity increased is for tier 1. Remember, this is by tiers. This isn't by rungs. Tier 1 is 50 plus your fortitude times 10. Since it's -1, that'll be you get 40.
Hooray!
So that goes up to 130 is your max vitality, and let's just round that up to 130 again. And then once you reach rung 2, you get a trait value increase. This means that any of your trait values, you can get put +5 into any 2 trait values, or +10 into any 1 trait value. So let's say if you wanted your character to be more balanced, let's say you can make give +5 to your intellect and make this a 40, so it's only a +1, and then a +5 to your imagination to make it 70, so it'll be +2. Or you can put the +10 into your 70.
I'm putting
and make
all of it
80.
into my agility.
All of it into your agility. All right, so that's going to make this 80. So now you get a +3 on any agility check.
Woo!
Let's also, you just put right here that your Echoladder rung is 1. Now that
I always thought it was pronounced Echelada, like echelon.
You were right. You're right.
You're probably right.
Right.
I just.
Also, didn't we reach? Oh yeah, rung 1. Yeah. No, it's tier 10, rung 1.
So just for the example, God tiering.
Yeah, tier 1,
is,
rung 10.
God tiering is something that the rules on God tiering are mostly up to your DM.
Let's just say No,
but
no, no, no. Let's
no,
just
they're mostly
say
up
for
to your
this,
DM.
for this,
Yeah.
no, no, shh, 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 shh.
Okay.
Let's just say, Carl in the Discord chat said, next time on Table Duck, death, what is it? Suddenly, Mector falls over, yoked, slain by the imp's corpse laying on top of it, and then the imp explodes into the grist, and I collect the grist with my corpse. And then I fall onto my bed, which is conveniently also a quest bed, because Yoda prepared for this. And
Yoda
what happens
is a
when I die?
metagamer.
What happens when I die, for one?
Okay, so when you die, let's go through death. Let me just fly my way back up to the top here. I'm getting Discord messages, but I can't read them right now because I am doing a live stream. Okay. Also, we have 50 minutes left, so that's fun.
We can do it.
Okay, so unconsciousness and death. When a character's vitality is dropped to 0, they become either KO'd or dead. If the character was defeated in Strife and the opponent declares they want to attack non-lethally, the character is left KO'd. If a character's vitality drops to 0 in Strife and non-lethality is not declared, the character will enter critical condition. Any strife between a player character and a guardian will result in the guardian always attacking non-lethally. Critical condition. When a character enters critical condition, if they are a regular NPC, such as an underling, it is recommended that they are immediately considered dead. Unless the DM decides otherwise, if the character is a player or an important NPC, they must make a survival check. A survival check is a series of 3 fortitude action checks. If the character is successful on 2 of the 3 rolls, they are no longer in critical condition and are KO'd. If a character is unsuccessful on 2 of the 3 rolls, they are dead. Depending on the situation, the CV of a survival check changes. In most cases, if the character is defeated in a fairly insignificant situation, such as if the character is grinding or is still in the early game, the CV of their survival check should be about 5. In a more significant situation to the narrative, such as a minor boss fight, the CV of their survival check should be around 5 to 10. In a very significant and dangerous situation, such as a major boss fight, the CV of their survival check should be about 10 to 15. In a situation where the character is fatally injured, such as impaled, cut in half, or dropped off a very large cliff, the CV for their survival check should be between 15 and 20, and the survival check would be unfavorable. The DM always has final say on the difficulty of a survival check. If another character is around when a character goes into critical condition, they can help the character and make their survival check favorable. If the survival check is already unfavorable, it becomes a regular survival check. Death. When a player
What happens?
Yes.
Oh, yes. Continue.
When a player character dies in Table Stuck, it isn't necessarily the end for them. Characters can be revived from death in a number of ways. Corpse Smooch. Anytime a player character dies and either their dreaming self or waking self is still alive, the character can be revived through a Corpse Smooch. If another character kisses the corpse of the deceased player, the dream or waking self that is still alive will awaken and the player will take control of them. Quest Bed. Anytime a player character dies on either their... this I'm going to actually... change. So this is up to your DM. If your character dies on their quest bed, and let's say that it was a close death, it was an unfair death, it wasn't really something that was metagamey, then your DM can say that, yeah, you can god tier. But what I'd say is regular for Table Stuck is you need to reach the top of your Echo ladder. You need to reach tier 10 before you can god tier. However, again, this is up to the DM. That's how I personally like to DM it, just because I find it's more fun when people can't just metagame themselves to the quest bed and kill themselves. But it's however you want to do it.
No problemo, no funno.
So the character can be revived through the quest bed. If a character dies on their quest bed or their corpse is brought to it and laid upon it, the dream and waking self that is still alive will be awakened and ascend to god tier. Sacrificial slab. If a character dies and both their dreaming and waking selves are dead, the character can still be revived through their sacrificial slab. If a character either dies on their sacrificial slab or the corpse is brought to it and laid upon it, they will be revived and ascend to god tier. And once they get god tier, they get magic bullshit. So magic bullshit...
Which, Yota has died on their quest bed, and since they do not die, they are Yota, they must live forever.
Mm-hmm.
They ascend to the Thief of Space. Imagine a beautiful cutscene before you where Yoda's body slowly rises, small, shriveled, and green. Then a bright space symbol poofs around it, and then they turn into a Thief of Space, and it's like, yay.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing.
Okay.
They're still on
one
Earth.
Okay, so we have about 10 minutes left.
Sound effect.
We have about 10 minutes left.
Wait, what do you mean we have 10 minutes left?
It's 9:20.
Don't we end at like what? Like 12?
Do we? Wait, I thought we ended at
Yeah,
9:30. or at least for me, it's 9:30.
Oh, do we?
I don't know.
Oh,
Check
we'll
the
see.
schedule.
I'll check. I'll double check. I'll double check. Oh no, yeah, we end at 11:30. I mean, yeah, you're right. So
Yeah?
we got 10
Okay.
minutes. All right, let's do God tiers really fast, and then we'll take the last
so
couple
let's
of
just go
questions.
quick because God tiering, your characters, you could read up more about it in the player's handbook. Because your character.
We
while
have
you're-
guides on every single God tier. We have well, not every
No,
single,
we
but we
don't
have
have-
like a
we had-
description of every. No. What I meant to say is we have a description on every single class and aspect.
Yeah.
We are going to be working on since we did MMO stuff, we have a lot of examples and ideas. We're going to be working on more in-depth things for basically every class aspect if we can, but that's again going to be in the future, probably after the first update.
So let's quickly
first
talk
major
about how the God tier powers work. A God tier character is one that is fully realized in their aspect, and their maximum magic bullshit is immediately raised to 25. The exact nature of your character's God tier abilities is to be determined between you and your DM and is based on their class aspect. Some of the abilities will be available before ascending to God tier. To determine the rank and cost of a specific God tier ability, compare it to the following. So
God tiers are very, very complicated.
Yeah.
So when you are playing table stock, much like how the alchemy system is complicated, your DM can really choose what they want you to do. You can interpret Homestuck class specs however you want. One Thief of Life can work like Mina, where they physically steal somebody's life. Another Thief of Life might take somebody's agency, might work a little bit more like a Thief of Breath. One Witch of Mind might manipulate somebody into hating themselves and feeling awful, while another Witch of Mind might manipulate them into feeling like a good person and feeling good about themselves, make
So-
good decisions.
yeah,
The DM and your character can really make a lot of decisions how this goes out and how your powers work. And
so you'll want to try and plan this out with your DM ahead of time, probably. But here's how the powers themselves work. So for either 1 or 0 MB, depending if you're God tier, sub-minor
this
powers
can also
are
change
free.
as your characters change through the game.
Yeah, sub-minor powers are free for God tiers, but if you're not God tier yet and you still have MB, but like you get MB at some point on your Echo Ladder, you can do sub-minor powers for 1 if you're not God tiered, 0 if you are God tier, so they're free. Sub-minor power
Of
is
course,
one
I
that,
had to argue with Cam like this for crazy. It's basically like if you've ever played a wizard in D&D or like a mage or not mage, warlock or whatever, and you've done cantrips. That's basically what it is. Like,
Yeah.
for example, like if you have illusion and you do prestidigitation, you can make sparkles appear.
I
was
argued
like,
that-
Cam, that should happen with God tiers, and Cam was like, no, it shouldn't. And then the epilogue came out, and then Rose made like a star like sundial behind her head, and I was like,
Okay, I still
got
think
you!
that should have
I
costed
got
at least
you!
some magic bullshit if Rose was to do that in Table Stuck. But regardless, we can argue semantics forever.
you can do cantrips.
A sub-minor power is one that a God tier character is able to use effortlessly at will without any MB cost. If a character is not God tier, the sub-minor power is considered minor powers that cost 1 MB. Sorry for reading so quickly. I just wanted to get through that quick.
No, yeah, we're getting this done. I'm trying to.
A
trying to move
sub-minor
on.
power describes a power that is mostly inconsequential, but may indirectly create a very minor advantage or do at most 1d10 of minimal discomfort. An example of a sub-minor power is Roxy's power to create perfectly generic objects and pumpkins, or perhaps a breath player making a small breeze. Minor power is one that a character can easily use with an MB cost of 3. A minor power describes a power that is not inconsequential, but is also not very powerful. An attack-based minor power could deal roughly 250 damage. That sounds like a lot, and it kind of is, but when you get into the higher tiers, HP gets pretty big. An example of a minor power is Vriska's ability to steal luck from other characters and use it for herself, or John's damaging but not too powerful winds that he uses against Jack or the Condess. 5 MB, moderate power, is one that describes a character can use with an MB cost of 5. A moderate power describes a power that is powerful enough to be a significant tool or weapon in the God-tiering player's arsenal and is the most powerful level of a God-tier power available before God-tiering. An attack-based moderate power could deal roughly 750 damage. An example of a moderate power is Terezi's ability to see the results of the choices that Vriska makes, or Dirk's ability to tear the soul out of his enemies. Jane's and Feferi's abilities to revive the fallen is a great example of this too. 10 MB is a major power. A major power is one that the character can use with an MB cost of 10. A major power describes the most powerful tool at a God tier's character's disposal. An attack-based major power could deal roughly 2,250 damage. An example of a major power is John's ability to dig a hole into the core of the battlefield with a tornado, or Jake's Hope-splosion, seen on a rare occasion. These are the biggest, most spectacular displays of raw energy and strength, save for dire circumstances. A major power can only be used once per rest.
Oh, hold on. One question. Ian Radley says, huh? If you get a good roll and increase in tier, wouldn't you be ludicrously overpowered against the wrong appropriate enemies? Or is tier less consequential than I thought?
Well, so alchemy tiers and leveling up tiers are different. So leveling up tiers is based on XP. I think they're talking about alchemy tiers. So when you make a roll to check if your weapon goes higher. So here's the thing. It does get pretty overpoweredly powerful if you get really good rolls on those when you do it, except the average grist cost goes up very quickly. So let's say that you have a tier 2 weapon and you roll like a 20. So it goes up to tier 4, except now the grist cost is 3,500 instead of 300. So even though you have this super awesome weapon, what was that? What is happening?
That was my mic. I'm sorry.
Okay. Even though you have this super awesome weapon, you can't use it until you get to until you have 3,500 grist. So it doesn't just mean that you could make like super powerful weapons immediately.
Frame motifs will be added in the update once we do more stuff with god tiers, but for now, just so we can move it quickly, let's go through the questions that I have pinned here.
Well,
I only
actually,
have a couple.
we gotta. I was wanting to check out the. I wanted to try
I'm
out.
asking the question. I want people to ask the questions.
Well,
Can
we
do
got
the questions.
we have 5 minutes, and I want to show off the app.
Okay. Can we? Recommend you?
Okay, we're back. Sorry, we're doing questions. Okay, say it.
How
now.
would you recommend introducing Tablestuck to your non-Homestuck friends and getting them to play?
Okay, I'd recommend just what I'd recommend doing is go through maybe
not telling them that it's Homestuck.
Maybe choose their class spec for them, and the thing is,
choose their class spec for them,
honestly,
or ask them about their characters. Be like, what is your character's dreams, aspirations? What do they hate? What is the worst part about themselves? And use that as the inverse of their class spec. And then like figure out their class spec from there. Show them some good humor.
And
don't try to force them to read Homestuck, or just don't tell them that it's
what
Homestuck.
I'd say is
like,
it's actually good when your players don't actually know Homestuck beforehand.
Yeah, because then when they go God Tool, they'll be like, what is this? When they enter the medium, they'll be like, oh crap, what is this? Tell them it's exciting.
Yeah, the characters themselves shouldn't really know anything about Homestuck. So if your player doesn't, that just means they can roleplay better.
And it'll be more fun. Okay, next question.
Next question.
Will there be another Tablestuck session for the peeps that missed one? I can answer this very quickly. You can make a Tablestuck session whenever you like. You can make it with characters. We, in our Tablestuck Discord server, we have a channel where you can create sessions. But if you're talking about MMO Stuck, there might be another MMO Stuck session. Not soon, but there are still some spots open if you want to join. If you want to be a DM or a player, there's some spots open. There are links in the Tablestuck official Discord server. Peach and Key question. How easy is it to app the mod for the sake of custom strafe weapons and Sildex? We will ask that later when we cover the mod. Where is the underling almanac available? Check the description of this video. Check the Tablestuck Discord server.
It's not there yet.
Underling
almanac will be available in the next update of Tablestuck coming soon.
Hooray! All right, let's cover the app.
Okay. Yes. Okay. Be right back, everybody. All right, and we're back. Hello, everybody. We're gonna show off the Table Stuck app now. All right, so Gabnificent, let's run through this. Hello? Hello? Guys? Guys? Whoops, I didn't mean to open Audacity. I don't know what's happening.
I'm lagging like crazy.
You were lagging.
You don't have to share.
Okay, well, no, I need to share my... Oh, God, don't open Audacity. No, technical difficulties. I'm so sorry. Okay, so, okay. I think it's better. Maybe not. I don't know what's happening.
There are a couple of homebrew trolls around, but we're going to.
Okay. Can you guys hear me yet? I'm so sorry. Hello?
Lagging over here, but I think the stream can see you just fine, Cameron.
Okay. Can you... Okay, Gabnificent, do you want to run us through how this works?
I mean.
Okay, Gabnificent is lagging significantly.
Oh. Oh no.
If you can hear me.
Okay, so real quick, just to show off what we have here. Here we have an example of what it'll look like viewing John Placeholder. This isn't interactable yet, but here's an example of how maps would look, how the players would look, some quick stats for you to have, as well as you can class spec integration. You can see all your characters' bonuses and everything here. And then we can go to metaphysical management and show off a little bit of the Sylladex. So we have the Sylladex here. Here's all the different kinds of items that we have here. Let's say we want to put our PDA here. This is how... so the Sylladex, you wouldn't be able to take anything up from the top for a stack. We can change it too. We have some different interesting kinds. We have Tree Modus. Tree is my personal favorite. You can put stuff in either side of the modus, and as you can see, I hope you guys can hear me in the stream, because I can't hear anything Gabnificent or Chloe is currently saying. Let's try out another modus, maybe, just to show off the different kinds that we have here. Galaxy modus is fun.
Is that better? Can you?
Oh, I can kind of hear you, Gabnificent. Okay, so I'm Galaxy modus. So Galaxy modus basically take it from anywhere and it'll drag away, which I think is pretty interesting. I like this idea. So here's all the different kinds that we have currently. There's more coming, as well as this app is still in development. So look forward to it when it's ready. I don't know if Gabnificent had more to say, but I don't think we'll be able to show it off.
I'm leaving.
I cannot hear a word that they are saying.
I
Oh,
have.
Okay, Gabnificent.
Is it fixed now?
It's not fixed. It is still very, very, very poor quality. Well, let me just close this. Maybe that'll help.
Discord.
Okay, Gab, I can hear you. I can hear you guys, I think. Maybe? No, I can't.
Oh.
I'm so sorry.
chat cam.
In the chat? Oh, okay. Okay, I can hear. Main focus is the Sylladex. The chat opens on the right with a new artifact that you can drag into the Sylladex. Ooh. Oh, yes, the server chat here. Okay. So, as you can see here, we have the actual chat. This is how the game will be played once the app is done, so you don't have to play it over Discord. So you can have your players enter commands here. Let's say I said meme. That's the connect command there. Then the DM would be able to enter a description for what happens for each command. And then the DM can also put stuff in the chat for you to put into your Sylladex, which is awesome, and this is literally the coolest thing I have ever seen in my life. Thank you so much, Gabnificent, for creating this super interesting system. And I think that'll wrap it up for our stream. I can't hear anything. Everything is falling apart, and have a great day.
No.
Oh, Gab, you want to say something?
Okay. I don't know. You said pretty much everything.
I did? Did I? Did I cover it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm so sorry about the technical difficulties there, man.
Yeah. It's fine. Discord is evil sometimes.
All right. Well, thank you very much for watching, everybody. Thank you for enjoying the stream, and enjoy Sakon. And you should be able to start playing on the Table Stuck Sakon Discord shortly. Have a great day.